Welcome to Woolligans. Today I'm going to show you how to put together our brand new kids Wooligan slipper. Isn't this adorable? So let's get into it. Take your contents out of the pouch. This should take you about less than 2 hours for sure. And what's nice about our kits is that all of the holes are pre-punched for the perfect stitch every time. So these are the uppers. This is our needle, thread, and elastic strap for the heel, and 2 felt outsoles. Again, all pre-punched and pre-marked to start, and instructions that come with video link tutorials so you can choose your different types of stitches, and a follow along video. Here we go. You will need a good pair of scissors, and we're going to start by putting on the elastic heel strap first. So the first thing we do is we take out our needle, set it there, and pull out our elastic. And you have 2 pre-cut elastic straps. Now, there's one side that is matte finish and there's another side that's shiny. It's up to you how you want to have it show on the outside. So this is matte and the inside is shiny. So you decide how you want it to look. And what we're going to do is flip the upper part over, and you'll see 2 tabs here. This is double stick tape to kind of help hold it in place while we stitch it. So remove the sticker backing, and there we go. And then, like I said, decide if you want the matte side or the shiny side. I prefer on this one to put the matte side facing outward. So you're going to work in reverse. You're going to have the shiny side. You're going to be looking at the shiny side while you're looking at the inside of the slipper. And you're going to place this strap right on top of that sticker and press. Nice, just like this. And you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. And make sure. There we go. You basically want to cover up that tape. Just like that. And it's on there pretty good. And it'll look something like this, so that when it's folded, the matte side is showing, just like this. Now, if you happen to have a little bit that sticks out, you can trim it. There we go. I'm going to trim a little bit of that tape because I didn't cover it all. Just like this. There. Now, we're going to take our needle and thread, and you're going to take just about 18 inches or so. And we're just going to put a few stitches to secure this in place. And it really purely is a little bit decorative. And I do think it does help secure it a little bit. But what we're going to do is you see there are 4 holes right there. And you're going to poke your needle. I don't know whether it's easier for you to go down or up, whatever is easier for you, but you do have to poke it through that tape, and it's a little bit stiff at first. So I'm going to go down. There we go. And leave about a 2-inch tail. And then you're going to go across and come up. Sometimes you have to poke down first. There we go. Just to start it, because that tape is pretty strong stuff, which is good. There we go. So you see, I made a stitch just like this. And now we're going to make a diagonal stitch down into the opposite hole, because I think this little X stitch that we're going to make right here is super darling. Okay, you see that? And you're going to go across and come up through. There we go. The next hole, and pull your little tail aside, And you're going to go down, across, through the opposite hole and out. And the hole we started in the beginning. You see that's the beginnings of a nice little X stitch. It's so cute. All right, and we're gonna do this 2 times to kind of just add that fun pop of color. And we're gonna go X across to the diagonal, just like that. And then take your thread off if you have this on the outside and poke it down. Put your needle in there just like that. And pull it out. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Look at how nice that looks. And honestly, give it a little double knot tie, just like that. And trim. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. I sometimes just find it's easier to start going down from the outside. And then going to go across and up. Leave about a 2-inch tail and go diagonal and down. And across. And up and out through the top. A little snug. I'm going to go down diagonally through the hole we began with. You see that? Isn't that darling? And then I'm going to go again. We're going to repeat this. Diagonal down and out and across and up. And then down and out. Remove your thread and then just take your tail, poke down your needle. There you go. So now we have a darling little X. Pull your threads tight. Look at how cute that is. Tie a double knot. Nice and tight. Trim your threads. Save this for the next one. And what's nice about this is that it's a wax thread, so you can just push it down and it sort of blends in with the material. And now we're going to assemble our first slipper. Doesn't matter. The other interesting thing about these is it doesn't matter whether you use the left or the right. The upper parts are the same for either foot. So no confusion there. So now we're going to take our thread again and we're going to measure about 10 generous lengths of your sole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Set that aside, and that'll be for the next one. Thread our needle. Okay. We're back. So now we have our needle and thread. And I want to point out that you should see a black dot and a little sticker that says start here. And that is where we'll begin. And take your upper, the one that we just added the elastic to. You can, once you know where that black dot is, you can remove this sticker. You don't need it there anymore. And bring your needle up from the bottom through that black hole and into the first hole of the upper, just like this. This is the bottom of the slipper also, just so you know. And pull it through slowly and leave about a 2 to 3 inch tail like this. And we'll be doing the whip stitch today. And we're going to come around and up through the second hole of the upper and the outsole from where we begin. And you see that? Give it a good snug pull, and we've created our first whip stitch. And we're going to continue on through the third hole and up through the third hole on the upper. And I just want to note that when you are sewing near the elastic, it's going to be a little bit hard to poke through, but you just gotta press it through and it'll go. There it is. It just pops right through. You may have 1 or 2 stitch holes that you have to do that to, but once you do, it'll be fine. From there on out, a nice tug. We definitely want snug stitches here because it just locks everything in place. There we go. That was there. And keep your tail untucked free. Nice and tight. Through the fourth hole and up. Here we go. Keep your edges together. And the stitches should line up nicely. You can use your finger to kind of separate them if you want. It's very important that you create, do you see these little bumps when you make your stitches? That's how tight you want it. Do you see that? And once you get this going, your little one may be able to do this with you. Keep your tail untucked. This is a waxed thread, and what is nice about it is that it does sort of lock your stitches in place, but it does like to catch on things pretty easy. Line up your edges, keep going. Be careful not to skip a hole, because then you'll have to undo it. Here we are, we're coming around the toe, and you're going to see how this starts to take shape. I know it doesn't look it right now, it looks sort of funny, but trust the process. This will become three-dimensional here very quickly. Edges together. Nice and tight stitches. Just every now and then check to make sure you didn't skip a hole. Looking good. Now we're going to continue on around the heel, just like this. elastic is anyway, you can just tuck it inside right there. Okay, we're going to come up through the hole we began with, create our last whip stitch, and pull those really tight. There we go. And get that there, sorry. And then we are going to go down through the hole on inside the second one. Oh boy. There we go, wrap my thread on. Watch this. This is gonna help secure this in place. Okay, so it created a little lock stitch right there. And then you're going to take your two ends and tie a double knot. Just like that, nice and tight. Two of them. Okay. And then we're going to hide our threads, but first I like to trim this long one. Makes it easier. Set your extra thread aside. And then poke your needle down through the second, any of the holes that's right next to the knot that you just made. But don't go through the upper, just go through the sole so that your needle kind of comes through the inside just like this. And this is how we're going to hide the threads. So thread your needle with both ends of your thread. Okay, and just pull it through just like this, and we're going to give them a little snip, clean them up. There you go. That is that. And what I like to do is, now that you've stitched this together, you kind of have to stretch it out a little bit and take your fingers and kind of run them along the inside of the seam. These will stretch also for your kiddos' feet, so give it a good little stretch. And there is our kid's slipper. How darling is that? Now you repeat for the second.